Wake up, open your eyes.
Peace and love, family. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S.S, and we're here today with a new series installment entitled Words Are Real Spells, aka Wars. So, before we get into it, I just want to break down the 4 ways that I'm going to be looking into this word, in which basically the series is looking into different words in English and breaking them down. But let me give you those 4 that we're going to be looking into how to break it down. So, number 1, we give a few different definitions to the word so we can get it from various different sources. Number 2, I'm going to be breaking down the different syllables as well as different prefixes and suffixes and other words found within the word. I'm not going to find all of them, but we're going to break down a few we can. Number 3, I'm going to piece them together and come up with my own understanding and definition to the word and give it to you. And number 4, I give you reasoning and give you examples to why I believe that is so of the definition I gave you. Okay? And with that, a disclaimer that this is not an exhaustive research. I did not go years, months, all over searching and finding every little bit and crack of the word that I'm going to give you now. But I looked into it within a few days and such and pieced it together from my own perspectives and understanding and logic put together of my own experiences with understanding the word. So just know that at the end of the day, it's my perspective and take it with a grain of salt. Which also, if you want to, extend it and also go do the knowledge, do the research also on your own to figure and understand it for yourself. But with that being said, let's jump into the word for today. I will be also adding and put them on the screen for you to see. So with that, the word for today, employer. So with that word, I'm also got them here on my phone, so I'll be reading it off on the phone. But for employer, we have on the online etymology dictionary, it says basically from the 1950s is an agent noun from employ. So when I look up the word employ, we have it as a verb, which basically means to apply or devote, as well as expend or spend, make use of, apply, increase, and so forth. Like I said, I'll have it here on here for you, but this is the first part of that definition here. Now moving on to the free dictionary. And there's a couple. Once again, it has employer, which is the noun. Then we have employ, which in this case is the verb, it's the action. So, employ, which is to provide work to someone for pay, as well as to put something to use or service. Okay? But with these, when I was looking into them, what I found interesting was always looking into the source, looking at the other words that are synonyms to it. So, other than that, those are the 2. Step 2, we have breaking it down to syllables. We have M, ploy, So you have 3 syllables being M, ploy, So we have M is the prefix, ploy is another piece, and the is the suffix. So let's look at each one. So, for the first one, we have M. I'm looking it up, it'll be here. It's a word element, basically meaning put in or into. Bring to a certain state. So, put in or into, bring to a certain state is the M. Now, for the second part, ploy, which is the noun. Anything with which one amuses oneself. And that's one definition of it there. The other definition we have, which is a noun, an action calculated to frustrate an opponent or gain an advantage indirectly or deviously, a maneuver. And that's for the ploy. Interesting part on that one that I like too, as well as, if we look and you'll see, on the synonyms, it also has different things as in tactic, move, stratagem, game, scheme, a gimmick, a trick, also a ruse. So those are kind of interesting. Just wanted to piece that there. So that's for ploy. And then we have, which basically I'll put it up here, but it has man who has to do with, which basically is just a person. It can be doctor, it could be worker, it can be constructor, another different things, instructor. The ER, the OR is usually meaning or denoting a person. So altogether, that is employer. So now let's go to step 3. Now with step 3, putting those all together, my definition that I got from it basically means a person who tricks or deceives you into the state of working. So, an employer, in my definition, is a person who tricks or deceives you into the state of working. And now, number 4, my reasoning behind that. And the reason why I say that an employer is someone who tricks or deceives you into the state of working is, number 1, when you first start applying for a job, what do they usually say? You got to sell yourself, right? So you go there all suited up, looking nice and everything, and you're selling yourself to this employer, to this job that you're going to be working, which people also talk about how they work in this 9 to 5, they're slaving the day away. Feels like it's just a new age plantation, basically, job being slavery, right? At least that's how people are seeing it. I see that in my own way too. So when it comes to coming and doing that, it's the reason why I'm saying is an employer is also tricking or deceiving you into that work. Because my second point being that is, when you look at the job description in your particular job, sometimes they will note it, and other times they won't note all of your job descriptions. But when you get into the job, then they start adding on different piles of things that you didn't even expect, and they just have it there. And then you wonder, this is not in my job description. And for me, that's that ploy part coming into play, or is that trick to get an advantage over it, as well as they're building their empire, their job off of you. So you're that labor that you're giving to them for them to grow themselves, where you're not even being able to really grow yourself besides provide for your family and, friends and yourself. But I understand that at the end of the day, you got to have something, you got to be doing, something in to be able to survive. But just keeping that in perspective is about why some people feel the way that they do when they're going to the work week, work day, and how they feel coming back home. So, other than that, I can keep breaking this word on and down, but in my case, this is what I came to understand of what employer is. Once again, not exhaustive research, just a small bit tit-tad of what I feel the word is and what it means to me. But basically, an employer is a person who tricks or deceives you into the state of working. This was the first episode of Words Are Real Spells, aka Wars. But with that being said, peace and love, family. Thank you so much. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S.S. at Envision, for you to envision your words, thoughts, and own decisions. Peace and love.
Well, we need lenses. We can't see that well, and it's where we can't see that well without lenses.